What is history? History has a number of different meanings. The word history itself derives from the Greek word historia, which means inquiry or research. History is a tale or a story. In fact, it can be argued that of the 7 letters in the word history, the most important are the last 5, S-T-O-R-Y, story. And history is just, in general, a chronological record of past events, primarily using written documents. But history can also be examined by looking at art and artifacts. History has been considered by philosophers and historians for thousands of years. Here are a few quotations. This is a quotation from Howard Zinn, a historian and playwright, and the author of the book A People's History of the United States. Human history is a history not only of cruelty, but also of compassion, sacrifice, courage, and kindness. But not everybody believes that history is a history of kindness. Edward Gibbon, the author of The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, which was written from 1776 to 1788, wrote, "History is indeed little more than the register of the crime, follies, and misfortunes of mankind." Some were even more caustic. The Gold Rush newspaper editor and critic and the author of The Devil's Dictionary, Ambrose Bierce, defined history this way. History is a noun, an account mostly false of events mostly unimportant, which are brought about by rulers, mostly knaves, and soldiers, mostly fools. Some went even further and said that history is just uniformly negative. William James, philosopher and psychologist, considered the father of American psychologists, he was the first instructor to offer a psychology class in the United States in 1875, wrote this, "History is a bath of blood." Others became more philosophical. There is an African proverb that goes, "Until the story of the hunt is told by the lion, the tale of the hunt will always glorify the hunter." Some just didn't care for history at all or consider it important in any way. Henry Ford, the American industrialist, founder of the Ford Motor Company, and a noted critic of history, wrote this, "The only history that is worth a tinker's dam is the history we make today." Abraham Lincoln, 16th President of the United States from 1861 to 1865, noted, "We cannot escape history." George Santayana, the Spanish philosopher, essayist, poet, and novelist in the late 19th and early 20th century, gave one of the most frequently quoted quotations about history when he wrote, "Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it." There are other perspectives as well. The novelist Toni Morrison, author of the book Beloved, who won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1993, wrote this about history. "I'm interested in the way in which the past affects the present, and I think that if we understand a good deal more about history, we automatically understand a great deal more about contemporary life." One of the most recent quotes about history is a particularly comprehensive one, and what you see here is just a shortened version. So let me read the entire quote. It comes from Susanna Lipscomb, who is a British historian and a frequent presenter on BBC TV. She is an expert on the Tudor dynasty, that's Henry VIII. She wrote this about history. "History is debate. History is discussion. History is a conversation. If you take a group of historians working on the same problem, writing at different times and in different places, even if they all use their evidence in a scrupulous, honest, critical, and informed way, the conclusions they reach may differ. This is because we are all different people. Our context, our formation, our insights are different, and the histories we write are personal. History is debate. History is discussion. History is a conversation. History is interpretations, the best informed, most thoroughly considered, factual of interpretations, but interpretations nonetheless." This idea of history as interpretation was even represented visually. In 1945, the famous artist Pablo Picasso was commissioned to draw a bull. He produced a series of drawings. They're all bulls, but all very different. This is a visual representation of the idea that history is an interpretation. Everybody sees things differently. Everybody can take the same event, the same body of evidence, and draw different conclusions. So the bottom line is, what is history? History is an interpretation.